everyone, my name is Annie. I'm the author of Legends of the West, and I have here my dogs. They want to be my assistants today. Actually, she is Lucy, and then I have Finnegan, Jack, and Finnegan. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Lucy, come up. Anyway, they are my assistants. They're always up on my business, especially when I'm here beside my drawing table. For some reason, they can't accept that. They get really mad that they want me on the couch or taking them for a walk. Anyway, oh no! And today I want to talk about my dogs. No, I'm not talking about my dogs. I'm talking about what kind of paper I use for sketching my graphic novel. And somehow in this video I ending up to talk about manga and anime style, more or less what I'm thinking. It's my opinion. Take it for what it is. Don't curse me out or get mad, because it's just my thoughts, and it is what it is. But anyway, this video is gonna be divided in part 1, part 2, part 3, because it's gonna be a little long. So I'm gonna start today talking about paper for sketching, how I sketch and stuff, and then I'm going to do an experiment with one page. I want to use a photograph and work with Photoshop and insert it on the page with the other panels and see how it's going to come out. It might be good, it might be crappy. I'm just record it and share your thoughts, your ideas, and I want to really see how it's gonna come out. Anyway, so stick with me for a little while. Hopefully my dogs won't make any noise. They're always up on my business. They are my assistants. And yes, let's start. Okay, so this one is the sketchbook, sketch paper that I use. Is if you can see, it's Strathmore sketch recycled sketch paper, so 100 sheets, and you can find anywhere this one. It's made in USA, which is good, and this I bought it at the local store, the community college here in town. They have a little shop inside, and they sell art supplies. So the prices are not bad, and I paid it $7.79, and for 100 sheets. And you don't need, for everyone is different, but when you draw, you want to just brainstorming or drawing some sketches or prepare the page, your comic page, you really don't need a fancy paper. Keep the fancy paper for your final layout of the page. So this one is what I use to brainstorming and sketching the page. As you can see, I don't even draw the panels. I do it later, and on the nice paper, because that's what I like to do. Some people like prepare everything on the sketchbook. I don't, because I did on this one sometimes, I do sometimes just to see if I don't go too far away, but they're not even really straight. And it really doesn't matter to me, because when I put it on the page, then I fix it. And so mostly I just draw it like that, more or less, just to give me an idea how big the frame has to be, the panel. But everybody does different. I saw a lot of artists, comic artists on YouTube, and everybody does different. So you have to find a way that works with you. And as you can see, I just write the test. Don't read it. There are a lot of grammar error. But this is just to give me an idea how much space I have to leave for the balloons, the speech balloons, and what they say. I don't write a script. I used to do it for the first 3 chapters, just to, and I had to say that when I finally finished the page on editing the page on Photoshop or Clip Studio Paint, I changed everything what they were saying. So I was just checking for as a reference, but then I changed everything because that's what I am. I always change stuff. But and also if I write a script, like I know some artists do that, obviously, but I don't have time. If I start to even write each single page what they're saying, it's gonna take me a long time, and I don't have that time. I'm doing too many things. And anyway, but like I say, everyone does different. There's not a strict rule. This is the way I do, and maybe it can help some of you just start getting started, or maybe figure out what to do. Because a lot of people, when you start to draw a comic book, you don't have any idea where to start. I mean, you maybe you realize a little bit what to do, but you really don't know how. So as in the past, I started to watch a lot of YouTube videos. Honestly, when I start, there was that many artists that were posting on YouTube. And I used to buy books like how to draw manga. These books right here, they were really useful. If I can get it. Those I think that are still around. This is like what I used to. Let's see, How to Draw Manga Volume 2, Painting Characters. So those books, they give you some help. Oh, boobies. How to draw shading, folding the wrinkle on the clothing, and draw female characters. Stop it! Oh, my dogs, god damn it. Drawing hair, eyes, it can give you some, like, the anatomy of the body, female body and male body, and they come in different volumes, and every volumes they treat a different topic. But let's see, this one, for example, anime and game characters, basic for beginners and beyond. It is the same line of books, but see, they give you the perspective, you know, the shade, see how to draw the head in different position, you know, if you can draw some line, and they are helpful. They tell you, see the mistake to fix. Maybe this chin is too pointy and the ear, they are not really in the right position, so here they tell you how to fix it, you know. And I think it can be really useful. And here they're coming in so many books, volumes, different. They treat different topics, so it's I don't know really who's the publisher. I bought it a long time ago in a comic book store in Santa Monica when I was living in California, and I bought several of them. I'm sure you can find something similar. Probably they're still printing those. They're still around. That was a few years ago. I tell you, a few years ago that I bought those. Many years ago. Before the recession. Let's say it like that. And yes, I think it's some kind of book like that can really help the beginners, just to give you an idea how to start. Because honestly, online on YouTube there are some videos, but there's not really, besides Mark Creeley, that he's a veteran of the comic, of the manga. He's the only, I think, famous American mangaka. He works for Dark Horse Publishers, and he's really good. He lived in Japan for many years, and he published a lot of comic books in manga style. I really like his style, and I always suggest to watch his YouTube channel. I watch it, and it's very useful. He's really good, and he's a professional, obviously. His name is Mark Creeley, and I guess you could just put on the search Mark Creeley, and it's gonna come out. Anyway, so this basically, it's how I sketch my comic book. I start to draw nice him, for example, and then I have to figure out as a background if I put just some cross hatching or just some special effect that I can do later on the computer. But there is a thing that I want to experiment now with one page that I never did. Is this page here. Okay, I want, here is still Sally remember a scene of her past when she was in California. And the scene ending here. And here I want to draw like a little creek that she is getting some water from the creek. But to make it very realistic, I saw a mangaka on YouTube and I posted on my blog the video. I think his name is Inio Asano, and he is super awesome artist. And he used real photograph to create the background of his comic. Manga, better say Manga, and he goes around the city basically taking pictures of real places, buildings, streets, landscapes, and then he downloaded the picture on Photoshop and he put it on black and white, and he created like it's almost a black and white inked, and it looks so real. So I want to try to do something like that with this page, inking by hand this part, but then try to get a picture from Photoshop and insert this panel basically with a real photograph on the page. The reason I want to do that because first of all I like experiment new stuff, and I already did with the first page of chapter 4 with the California cliff. I think it is the Big Sur in California. I don't know if I pronounce it right. Anyway, because I want to do this graphic novel. I really love the United States, the nature, the wild nature, and especially back, obviously, on this time, everything was so wild, so natural, and I want to keep the landscape as much realistic as possible. They're in the south now, here they're in California, so the vegetation, the trees, the animals changing. So I want to give, because Legends of the West is based in during the gold rush 1849, so everything was still so wild, and I want to keep the meaning of the story, the land, the frontier. It was wild, dangerous, cruel place to be for that time, so I want to maintain the landscape more realistic as I can. Obviously I can't keep it too far from the character's style, but I want to try to maintain it as much as I can, realistic. And I like drawing trees, background, natural backgrounds, and yeah. And another reason that a lot of people, some of my friends and other people told me that my style is a little, it's retro style, manga. And I know that because I started to draw this book, this story, many years ago. And many years ago, this style was popular. So now that I'm posting online, obviously the style changed, and what I'm supposed to do, redraw more than 90 pages? I don't think so, to make it more like the anime manga style that there is now. No, I'm not that crazy. And honestly, I prefer the old style of anime and manga. Old is not really old. I mean, we're talking about 5, 6, 7 years ago. I mean, I consider old the anime or the manga from the 60s and 70s and 80s, even 90s. Those are like 2000, and the rest 2005, 2006, like Inuyasha, Cowboy Bebop, or Wolf Rain. I mean, unfortunately, those are good animes, but they're still considered old. And I don't consider that old. It's just that the style of the anime in general change. Unless you draw things like the Simpson or Family Guy, that they're the same style for decades. Anime and manga, they change constantly to see what sell on the market. And right now, how these anime and manga are drawn, I don't like it personally. That's my opinion. And then everybody has a different taste, a different. Personally, I don't like it. And you know, if you draw Japanese characters that are based in Japan or in a fantasy land or wherever, or in a modern era, that's fine. Even if personally I don't like it that much, but those characters are American characters that are in the Wild West and the American frontier, 1849, and to me, it won't make any sense drawing them to the new modern style manga or anime. So it would be too far off from the story and from the characters. You can't make a Huck Finn, to me personally, drawing like a pretty boy, or even Tom Sawyer. I mean, I don't say that are ugly, but I don't even say that, you know, pretty boy with cute little hair and these eyes. I mean, or even drawing them like an androgynous looking, that won't make any sense. That won't be Huckleberry Finn or Tom Sawyer. Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, there are two boys, country boys from Missouri, and in an era that was really rough, men that weren't really that cute. Obviously, I adopted the story. Obviously, nobody was looking like Sally McKay, so I had to even think about that to make a little bit her sexy and the story readable. I can't draw everybody like missing teeth and typical dresses of that era. But yes, I can't even get too far from the nature of the characters. So that's I think is very important when you drawing a story. Drawing your character based on the environment they are in the story. I mean, if it's a futuristic story and or is it a fantasy story, or is a modern, like in the present time that we live, maybe it's based in Tokyo, high school kids, fine. Drawing like they are, the anime are now, that's fine. But if it's based on an American characters, and like in a place like the Far West, you don't want to get too far off from the environment and the characters. So, and I don't want to make Mark Twain more upset than he can be, you know. And so that's what I think. That's my thoughts. I think you know, and it's hard to keep up a story. You can draw a story for many years. Basically, you probably draw a chapter a year, depend how many hours and how much time you want, and how long is the chapter, how long is the story. So the style is gonna change over the years. The anime industry is growing pretty fast, maybe too fast. There is a lot of changing on the market, and mostly now it's based on how much money an anime or a manga makes. So that's why we see shorter story. I mean, when I grew up watching anime back in Italy, a manga or anime, it was like over 100 episodes. Now they are making maximum 12 episodes. So they're a very short story, and you really have a hard time to follow all of these anime that are coming out and even fall in love with the characters and the story because they are so short. You don't even have time to figure out what's happening and who they are and stuff. Sorry, my dogs are making noise. And yeah, so well, that's my thoughts. I mean, you can agree, disagree. Everybody has different opinions. Obviously, I'm not in Japan and dictate the rules. But I do what I like to do. That's my story. That's my style. I think it's important have your own style than actually try to copycat other more popular manga or anime. And I think that's the best, the good things of being an artist. So you just develop your own style, and then without thinking, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna make money. Well, if I make money, good. If I don't make money, whatever. But that's what I like to do, and that's what I like to draw. And so, I mean, you can't really think about that because you don't know, even if you draw the best modern anime or manga, you don't know if it's gonna like or not, and people gonna read it and buy your book. You don't have any idea till you put it out there and see what happens. So I can't really live my life like that thinking, oh, maybe this story is not gonna make any money, so I keep on changing. And no, this is what I do. This is my style. If you like it, like. If you don't like it, whatever. I mean, I don't think that Picasso or Matisse or Rembrandt were painting thinking, oh, this one's gonna make a lot of money. No, that's what their vision was, their idea and their style. And then obviously that almost all of them die in poverty. But when they're dead, then their paintings worth like $1 billion. So good for them. Who better say good for people that have that money to buy that kind of painting. But that's what I'm saying. You can't predict what gonna sell. It's like when Walking Dead came out, everybody was into the zombie, and I read some stuff about even Image Comics, and they say, please, for the submission, please stop to submit zombie story. They couldn't take it anymore because everybody was doing zombie. And you can't do the same, repeat the same sauces that Walking Dead had. It's very rare. So you gotta do your own thing. Figure out what's your style, what you like to do, what you like to draw, what kind of story you want to do, how develop the characters and stuff. And then don't think about all the rest. Don't, because if you start to think, oh, this anime looks like that, I really like it, and I want to draw it like that, I don't know, like I don't know what anime there are now. I don't have much time to follow them. Well, let's say you like really Dragon Ball, which is an old anime, and you start to draw your characters like Dragon Ball. Well, then it looks like a copycat. You can take inspiration from the artist, from the mangaka, but then you can't do the same style because then it looks like fan art, and it doesn't look like anybody's story. You're just copying somebody else's style. So you can take inspiration. Like, I really like Rumiko Takahashi, the author of Rama and a Half, Inuyasha. She draw a ton of anime, and I took inspiration a little bit from her, but I'm not copying her style because I create my own style. So you can't get inspired by an artist, but don't copy the same thing. Because right now, I see a lot of wonderful artists, even on Instagram. They draw these beautiful drawings with these beautiful anime style, manga style characters, but honestly, they look all the same. And they're beautiful. Nothing to say about their style. They're really, really beautiful, professional. I think some that come out from Japanese school, they go to study in Japan at the university, and in Japan there are university or colleges for mangaka anime, and they're awesome. I mean, but they look all the same because the school teach you how to draw in a certain style, the style to sell on the market. Not you. It doesn't develop your own style. It develops the style that the market request. That's why all these anime nowadays, the story and the drawing style is not that great. Honestly, it's not. And you can agree and disagree, like I said, but compared to other stories from the past, like Cowboy Bebop, Inuyasha, Wolf Rain, even Death Note, it's hard to find a good story that you fell in love with the characters and you can't wait the next episode to come out because it pretty much already predicts like how it's gonna be this anime from the first episode. And they're pretty much all the same, honestly. So to me is practice. To me, practice is the best uh, teacher. Obviously, not everybody can go in Japan and go to college there, but you can learn how to draw anime or manga. Well, anime is different, it's another technique, but manga you can learn by yourself. You just need to be self-critic of yourself and don't get offended if somebody tell you, oh, this is suck, or I don't like it, or it's not like Dragon Ball or whatever. Don't get offended. Keep going and develop your own style. I think in the past mangaka, like the older generation, like Monkey Punch, which is the creator of Lupin the Third, Rumiko Takahashi, Miyazaki, all of them have different style. If you put it side by side, there's anime or manga, all of them they look different from each other. Lupin the Third style is completely different from Inuyasha. Miyazaki has completely his own style. That's why he's famous. Now, if you tell me who is famous, I don't know this new artist. It's very hard to find somebody that kind of stick out from the mass because there are so many, like I said, and so short story, they look all the same. You can't really recognize who draw what. I mean, really. So, but like I said, this is my opinion. That's what I'm thinking. I might be wrong. I don't want to say that I'm right, but that's what I'm thinking. And I really think that the newer generation of artists can do better and can produce better story, better characters, and better style. Anyway, so I'm going to fix this page and then try to insert a photograph in this panel here and work on from there. And I'm gonna do some time lapses, obviously, like as usual. And I'll see you in a little bit. Bye. Okay, so that's it for part 1 of this video. I'm going to upload soon part 2, and I'm going to show how I'm going to draw the sketch on really nice paper. It's going to be the final layout of the comic page, which is ready to be inked. So it can be really useful for somebody that, like me, still hand draw comics, or just want to know or see how another artist does it. Anyway, please subscribe, leave a comment, share your thoughts, your opinions. I really appreciate that whoever watched my videos. Thank you so much. And please don't forget to check my website, one.comics.com. I post every Thursday one page of Legends of the West, and you're welcome to read it for free. It's free anyway. And I even post on Thursday the same page on Webtoons. So if you are on Webtoons, you can check Legends of the West. And yes, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I'll leave all the link below somewhere here. Anyway, be ready for part 2, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much again, and bye bye. Ciao.